G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Stuff and Such. Today we're working on a chainsaw sharpening for one of my customers here. It's a very damaged chain. It's been improperly sharpened and also been ran into stones and stuff and chipping. So it's going to be quite the little adventure to bring it back. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to go ahead and refurbish a chain that is needing a lot of work. Before we get started on today's video, you go ahead and subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Let's get started. So the issue with this saw here is that when the customer had filed this chain, what was happening is he filed it really low, and what that did is it caused that cutting edge to be very long and tapered, and it gives it no strength. So it's kind of something like, so it's kind of like that, so that lead edge can fold over, whereas it should be more like that. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's by filing too low you make a long tapered cutting edge, whereas if you file appropriately you have a nice thick supported cutting edge. So because this customer he didn't file both sides evenly either, so that's another issue also. What you have to do is you have to take your flat file and you need to address the front of the teeth to get a bit of a uniform on each side. It's a good time to get your angles right on your lead angle. So that would be this angle. It's a good time to get that in the right appropriate this angle and get them all uniform. It doesn't take much, 3 swipes or so, and you kind of get enough meat back. Obviously it's not going to cut right now, but we're in the process of repairing a badly chain here. So this one here, I don't know if you can see it, it's actually a real bad case of what I was talking about. It's gotten so badly thin that entire back edge has broken off. Not because it hit anything, but just because it's worked up and down, up and down, up and down until it eventually sheared off. You see how much hook there is in there compared to this tooth here. This is a factory sharpened tooth. You see that? How deep that gullet is in there, whereas the factory one hardly has any. So what we're doing is we're filing the tip off there to bring it back. The interesting part is really if the person that spent the time sharpening this, if they had the skills mastered, when they sharpen in the first place, this wouldn't be necessary. They would have already, I know that sounds silly, but they're putting in time already. It's better to do the job right first time. So we got the front of the tooth now dressed up. Now it's time to hit it with the round file. And we'll have to make sure we kind of hold it up a bit to keep it out of that existing gullet. So what I'm trying to do is I'm really pulling up with my hand. You can see how the chain's lifting and I'm pulling so hard. And what that does is it starts to change what's happening on the inside. Because we don't want to be following the same groove that's already there, because that's what got us in this trouble in the first place. So we want to pulling up and keeping the heel of our file above or parallel this way. Does that make sense? Good old Oregon chain, soft as a marshmallow. One thing you have to do on occasion as your chain wears is you need to file the rakers down. That is this part here. This one hasn't been done yet. So they do make file guides you can put on here. They are kind of fiddly and annoying. Personally, I've never found a use for them. What I do for rule of thumb is when a chain finally needs to be the raker needs to be filed for the first time, I'd hit it 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. Then after that, you got that rounded off, and then as I notice it, as I'm sharpening in the future, I'll sometimes hit it once or twice. So what this raker does is it actually is the difference between the height of the cutter, and this is on the wood. So what that does is it only allows that raker, or it only allows that cutter to cut so deep. So if you cut that entire thing right off, that full tooth is going to be in the wood, and the saw doesn't have enough power to do it, and you'll end up stalling out and breaking stuff and making your life miserable. So they are there for a reason. They also clear the chips out. So you do have to be somewhat careful just how aggressive you get taking them off, because if you take off too much and your saw isn't powerful enough, it'll make it inoperable. So that's all for today now, folks. We're got this chain all tidied up here. Hit it with the flat file in the front to dress the fronts, bring them all to uniform shape, then hit them with the round file. If you enjoyed today's content, appreciate it if you went and subscribed for me. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps this channel grow and get this information out there. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for the next video.